I'm speechless, man. I mean, this is the greatest day of my life.
Really one of the stories of today's event, maybe a changing of the guard, or at least a precursor to that in our starting lineup today. The names you're familiar with, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, Ernie Irvan, Sterling Marlin, well, they're back-a-ways in the starting lineup today. The front row made up of a couple of NASCAR's new guard. In fact, not very long ago, you would have found these two drivers featured in our Saturday broadcast of the Champion Sparkplug 300. Joe Nemechek on the outside pole, Jeff Gordon, the pole qualifier. Standing by to talk to the pole sitter today is our Randy Pemberton.
Well, thank you much, Rick Benjamin. You're absolutely right. These are two guys that are stars on the rise here in the Winston Cup circuit. And, of course, Jeff, only your second Coca-Cola 600. Last year, you started deep in the field but had a great run, finished second. What can we expect here tonight when we're going to start in the sunlight here and then go into the nighttime?
Well, you know, I don't think that the fastest car is going to be fast right now unless they can make a lot of changes under pit stop. So, you know, our strategy is to go out there and play it real calm, ride around for about 400 or 500 miles and be there. You know, we got to be there at the end, and that's something we haven't been doing lately, and it hasn't been any of our faults. We're just having some bad luck. So we need some good breaks. A lot of luck would do a lot for this team today because we've been running great all year long.
Okay, good luck tonight in the Coca-Cola 600, Jeff.
Thank you.
Pole position, sophomore Jeff Gordon with a record lap at 181.439. 600 miles for 1,200,000, 43 cars. And Andretti, because he missed the drivers' meeting, goes shotgun, goes to the rear. You're now riding with 3 of our onboard cameras. We have several more for you today. Jeff Gordon, the pole sitter up there, taking the field down the back straightaway.
Now it's kind of warm, and then it'll start getting cooler, and everybody's got to adjust. So everybody will figure on that, I guess.
24-degree banking. About to be attacked for the first time.
There they go. All down into the first corner. It still looks like a pace lap right now because they're all not strung out. But it won't take them long to string out.
Where do you collect high gear out there?
Well, you get that before you get to the first corner. So you're ready to go when you get to the first corner. You're running wide open. And a lot of times you can go in faster because you accelerate.
Bodine scoots down to the inside, tries to find the hole. Nemechek up on the outside. And you're riding with Bodine as they come by for the first time. And he had a handful of those bumps up in turn 4. Take another look at that when they go back up through there this next time. Schrader looking good, stays in the bottom, and Nemechek just hangs it out on the outside and stays there, runs wheel to wheel.
So this is what's going to be interesting because he
tracked, looking for that hole for second, and back comes Jeff Gordon, the pole sitter, just 22 years of age, and what a racer he is. On board with Jeff Gordon in 6.
Something happened to Mark there. Now they just got a good running start at him. I don't know where he's going to decide to let him go a little bit or not.
Gordon back now to the 6th spot. And Ward Burton pulling up from 7th. There's been a change, however, behind him. Ernie Irvan is rolling. He's into 8th. Ricky Rudd now in 9th. Back to 10th. Follows the 77 car. Greg Saxon. Take a look at this battle. Jeff Gordon has it. Mark Martin trying to take it away. Roof cam here, right down on the bottom at 175. Nemechek falls back into 6. Ward Burton trying to pull up on this threesome as they come around to complete lap number 12. Green so far over all 43 cars in the early going of the Coca-Cola 600. Expected to be done about 9:30 Eastern tonight in this $1.2 million test.
I tell you what, they're not getting strung out as quick as what I thought they would. Everybody's just right there on each other all the way back to 34th place.
Here is Mass looking for the outside.
And one of the teams is also having a problem is at 24. Jeff Gordon. His car is also pushing. He has radioed into the crew saying, what is going on? He has dropped all the way back to 12th from the pole. His crew chief has said, you just hang on. We'll fix it for you.
Well, Earnhardt is 17 seconds back now in 16th position from the leader, Rick Mast. You're on board with Jeff Gordon for the moment. As he continues to have his problems, he is now backed up from the pole to 12th position.
You can do all the practice and all the testing, all this kind of stuff, and when you turn them all loose, you get a different animal. So that's what they're having to settle down with now. But if they can all have a quick pit stop here before long and get their cars adjusted, then like I said, we're going to see a different race than what we're seeing right now.
Well, there you see the Gordon car as it tries to do something to get itself back up in here, but it's going to take a pit stop, and we're at lap 42. When should they be coming in, Richard, if we stay green?
Somewhere around 60 laps. I imagine all of them will stop a little early to begin with, sort of see what's going on. And
how do you view these pit stops?
I think this is a very critical point of the race. This is the very first pit stops of the night. It's a long, long race. People like Rusty Wallace and a lot of the guys up front like Earnhardt, I think Richard will agree with me. When they make these pit stops, the quicker pit stops will really close up track position. I think you'll see somebody leading the race after a round of these pit stops other than Rick Mast.
Coming in very slowly as we watch Jeff Gordon making his pit stop is Schrader trying to get this car rolled. Whole crew is out on pit road trying to bring him down. Find a way to sort itself out and get it back.
Well, if you'll notice some of this kind of stuff here, there's a bunch of good cars that are a lap down. That was a lot of responsibility because they wasn't handling really good right to begin with, or the way they made their pit stops. Maybe their pit stop wasn't quite as good as somebody else's, so they wound up getting a lot of cars down. So I guess there's what, 15 or 16 laps still on, or 15 or 16 cars still on the same lane.
Yep, up on that lead lap. Jeff Gordon seems to have found the remedy to whatever was ailing 24 in the early going. He's trying to sort him out from some lap cars. Field. Ooh, take a look at this. And there is Waltrip a lap down. Gordon scoots to the inside, and the 24 brings Terry Labonte and Earnhardt with him. And Earnhardt is in 8th. The car in between is a lap down. You think Gordon is really a natural?
Yeah, he's a natural. To be able to do what he's done and run all the different kind of cars, he's just a natural race car guy. All he needs here is experience.
Leo Jackson, the 600. Last race at Charlotte will be in October. Back up front. Here's Urban in first. Jeff Bodine in second. Jeff Gordon in third. Nemechek there in fourth, just coming into the picture.
The 24, Jeff Gordon's car is a little bit tight. They are hoping and praying for an eclipse. They want this sunshine to go away so the car will stabilize. It is not yet stabilized, and they changed the car just a little bit.
Here you see Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, and he's got a mitt full of Morgan Shepherd.
And Morgan, we hadn't heard a whole lot from Morgan. He's just been there. He's been regular. And you know, maybe it's time. They didn't run half the race. Maybe it's time for Morgan to get involved in it.
The third car in the field is a lap car. That's the number 8. It is Jeff Burton, who is running in 11th spot. He's 1 lap down. Look at Gordon coming back again from the bumper cam. Bodine. Bodine is in third. Gordon back there in fourth and closing. And here comes Morgan Shepherd. Morgan fades it up to the outside a little. Ricky Rudd is also there. He's in the lead lap.
Yeah, you got
with
another
the tied car, number 10.
I hadn't heard no telling him. He's just been there running the first 8 or 10 all day long. Now they're starting to take advantage of that particular position that they got on the track.
That's what we talked about yesterday, the old petty thing, you know. You're just in there, nobody's paying attention till halfway. At halfway, you're in the lead lap. I can't think who told me that years ago.
Then you get serious.
Yeah.
They start paying
all of a sudden they started checking, and if the old 43 was in the lead lap at halfway, they was time to pack the toolbox and go home.
Sometimes it was. Sometimes it wasn't.
Talk about the Michael Waltrip car. He is running 15th on the field, and he's shown as 2 laps down. Shepherd finished second in this race in 87, while behind the wheel of a Stacy car. Make that one better. Lights are on around the racetrack now. How do you like those lights?
They're not caution lights. These are lights to make it. Okay.
I mean the night lights.
Yeah, okay. The night lights are on. Okay. Yeah, well, if they go ahead and turn them on, I don't know that Winston Cup's ready to run them ever 9 under the lights, but I think it's really good to break up things here at Spaceville, big racetrack, even a little racetrack. Saturday night specials is really good. They always have been, and that's the backbone of the sport.
Jeff Gordon stays in that 4th spot. He's got Morgan Shepherd chasing around after him, and right in front of him is Jeff Bodine. It's a whale of a battle. We're midway in it in the Coca-Cola 600.
It was you know, we were just struggling along, and you know, we just didn't get the handling the car as close, you know, we like, but you know, that's not here or there. We just wanted to keep lasting. We thought we might outlast them, but unfortunately broke the crankshaft.
Well, you've done a great job at Indianapolis, finishing 10th. How was your trip down here?
Oh, it was great. Flew in a Challenger, and those are always nice, and got to be helicoptered in, so I didn't have to be here so early. I got the...
Okay, well, guys, he got me back. I called him Jeff, and he called me Rusty. You made history, man. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Back up to y'all.
I thought he liked it. I thought he wanted to be Rusty.
Whatever, right?
Right here, Earnhardt. They popped the cork on that one, and he has moved all the way to second, fallen to third. There's the battle. Morgan Shepherd in second for a moment, then back comes Earnhardt. Incidentally, Mark Martin is back in the race after 38-minute repair job, out there trying to score some points. Look at this contest between a Chevy and a Ford. Earnhardt Chevy hugging the inside. Shepherd alongside, right behind him, the 24 of 22-year-old Jeff Gordon.
Jeff's got a good look at what's going on up there. You can bet on that.
Again, Wallace out in front of this crowd by about 25-30 car lengths. It says 1 and 9/10 seconds in replay, even though we got a great rate. Take a look at this. This was about 6 laps ago. We were in commercial.
Just moves just enough. You know, now he's trying to gather it up. There comes Jeff Gordon under him also. He was lucky to gather it up. That doesn't look like much, believe me. You see that thing move a little. But once it breaks loose, you have a heck of a time getting that thing moved back down so that it'll go straight.
Back with you live, and you're watching as Bodine works Gordon. This is for fourth. And here comes Gordon right back, not willing to give an inch. Gordon on the outside, Bodine.
There's Nemechek watching them racing.
Yes, and Ernie Irvin's right there, too, with a catbird seat to view it from. Stay with us. Second spot, it is Jeff Gordon. That's followed by Ernie Irvin and Dale Jarrett. Let's go down to the pit area and talk about the man who started outside of the front row today. Kenny Wallace?
Yeah, I got Joe
Nemechek. Well, look at Wallace still trying to deal with Earnhardt and try to contain him and get him a lap down. Here comes Ernie Irvin, working again on Jeff Gordon, and he's going to get him this time around for second spot. They continue to dice and slice this race up every which way, don't they,
They
Richard?
have really been racing. Now, nobody can go home and say they didn't see a bunch of racing going on. Now, they have really... Sorry, but...
Jimmy Makar, brother-in-law of the man in that 18 car. They've only had 2 top 10 finishes this year. A 4th at Darlington. They had a 10th at Richmond. On board with Jeff Gordon as he's watching this slugfest here. Unbelievable racing.
It is. This is Saturday night racing without running into each other. Hopefully they can continue.
Well, they've had a little running in too.
Yeah, well, right now that's really racing. This is what it's all about.
And you see what's happened here. Rusty Wallace has accomplished what he set out to do. He's put the cap back on the bottle of car number 3. Put him a lap down. Would like to keep him there. Want to bet that he can?
Yeah, he got him now. He's got him.
And the 3's fading again. You're dead on. Jeff Gordon getting up there beneath him. Jimmy Spencer down at the bottom just in front of him in the McDonald's car. He's not been a factor today. Dale Jarrett, been 16 months since you visited Victory Lane, and about forgotten what it felt like, we understand.
Yeah, we've about forgot about that. We've used it up pretty much here. So, yes, time for another win. This would be a good place to get us started. You know, I like the racetrack. We've run well here. And 600 miles, I think it suits us because we tend to get better as the race goes on. And that's the way it's been in the past. It hasn't been this year. So, we're looking to get back to that. And we need a good run.
Good run they're getting. Jarrett staying right up here with the pack in 3rd spot. First time Jeff Gordon has led since the very first lap in the race. Take a look at how he did it. Rusty Wallace in first at Ford, and here comes that Chevy down to the bottom. Sticks and takes home that front position for a lap or 2. Up there. Jeff Gordon hasn't given up much tonight at all. He's fallen back to 4th for the moment. You get the feeling he's going to come back.
Something's happened to the 18 car.
18 backing up, and Jeff Gordon tapped him as they came through turn 3. Now he collects it back up, and they run side by side, but he backed up about, what, 2 car lengths, and Jeff Gordon was all over him.
Yeah, 2 cars get by him down there.
As the standings are, it's Ford in first, Ford in second, Chevy in third, Dale Jarrett Chevy back and forth, and Irvin's Ford in fifth. Ricky Rudd's Ford is sixth, Harry Gantz in seventh. Best we can do for Pontiac is 10th right now for Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, he's been struggling along. He's been running good, staying out of trouble. That's why he's got that far up.
Ford and Chevy tied in the manufacturers battle this year as they get to 11 races in the Winston Cup Series. And there you see Jeff Gordon, just 22 years old. They say he's already won 600 races. Do you feel that he has that same determination? He's so young that you see in Earnhardt.
Not altogether, no.
No?
He's coming through at a different time. He's different age, different circumstances. Earnhardt had to work for everything he's got more than what Gordon has. Not saying Gordon's not had to work towards stuff, but Gordon's never had to pawn the farm and all this kind of stuff. He's been lucky that somebody's been there with him with good cars, and he's had good guidance. So he's coming from a different school, and it's hard to beat that school of hard knocks. When he gets tough, we'll just find out how tough he really is.
Seeing him right now in third. 4 drivers have won from the pole. 4 drivers have won from the pole. Jeff Gordon now in third, trying to close in. Only 4 drivers in 35 seasons.
Yeah, we got Jeff up there running second.
Okay, Dick Berger, what are they going to do down there with the 24 car?
Well, I'm with Ray Evernham. Ray, what will you do on your next pit stop?
Well, we're not sure. We're going to have to watch and see what the leaders do. We'll probably just end up with a gas and go, but we'll just wait and see what they do. You know, if a yellow comes out, it'll change everybody's strategies, but right now nobody can make it, so we're just going to have to see, and we're going to let Rusty's crew chief make that decision.
You strong enough to win?
Right now it doesn't look like it, but I think if we can adjust on the car and if it comes down to a shootout, you know, Jeff Gordon with 10 laps, I'll put money on him.
537 miles in the rearview mirror as we get down to the side. This Coca-Cola 600 for the 35th time as Wallace stays in front, but Wallace's lead is dwindling. Wallace's lead is being eroded as Bodine continues to clamber back into this thing. With him comes Jeff Gordon. Gordon has a lot of making up to do to catch him, but there is time.
The 16 car there has just stopped and got 4 new tires, so he's a little bit quicker than the 7 car right now.
Jeff Gordon in third spot. He finished second here 1 year ago, and he says he learned a valuable lesson.
Well, you know, when you get here, towards the end, it's going to be at night. And last year, I found myself in a position where I had to run really hard to run second, trying to run down Dale Earnhardt for the win. But I'm going to run awful hard. What the thing is, you don't really need to run real hard at the beginning. You take it easy, save your race car, save your tires, and wait for that perfect pit stop there towards the end to dial that car right in. Hopefully, you know, it'll be about a 50, 60 lap shootout there towards the end, and we'll be there. I'll be pushing awful hard if it comes down to those last 50 laps.
Looks indeed like it's going to go to the last 50 laps as Gordon in number 24 stays back there in the show position where Jeff Gordon lies in all of this. You see him coming off turn 4. That's the separation, the interval on the top 3. Dale Jarrett, who was right up in there, led this race. He's fallen further back. He's in 4th position. Here's Gordon. Caution would certainly make it.
It would make a whole difference.
And we want to let you know who the Western Auto Mechanic of the race is. Ray Evernham, the crew chief for Jeff Gordon, is the winner of the award. The Western Auto Mechanic of the race posted tonight. Our hats off. Jeff may not win the race, but Ray Evernham comes home a winner tonight here at Charlotte.
Guy is really good. He used to be in the IROC series. Remember those cars were all dolled up the same and everything. And
they was really good with that stuff.
Boy, he is so bright.
Pretty good with what he's doing here.
Sure is. You see, they
look like the 2 cars getting away from the 7. The 7 was catching him pretty good there for a while. In the last 4 or 5 laps, he's kind of worked it back out there again. But the spur is so important that they fall off a second and a half right quick, so they need all 4 tires.
Here's Gordon coming on to pit road. Gant should be coming in shortly. And Rudd. We'll go to Dick Berggren as Jeff Gordon makes his pit stop.
Gordon's getting ready. I tried to get from Rick Hendrick what they were going to do. He said, I'll tell you after the stop. That's how late they are deciding what they are going to do. Gordon, right side tires so far. No effort on the left. No effort on the left. Oh, here we go. Left rear tire being loosened up now. Gordon, get it with 2. 2 for Gordon.
9.5. Will it hold up? Will that strategy work?
I don't think that'll work.
Gant is in. Number 33 is on pit road.
The difference between the 2 car and the 7 car after they got on the back on the racetrack was 4 seconds. The 2 car beat him 4 whole seconds around getting in, getting out of the pit. The 24 and the 2 are running just about identical speeds right now.
Back in for Felix Sabetis another time. Riding with Jeff Gordon in the DuPont car.
He's doing good, man.
Is he doing well?
No, I mean, really, he's holding his own with against the 2 car, and the 2 car's got 4 new tires. So, doing pretty good right now. I think it'll catch up with him, but so far it's not.
Jeff Gordon lies second. Getting down to 10 to go as Rudd call it Jeff Gordon into first. Wallace to second. On board with Jeff Gordon as he comes back.
Jeff's done stretched it out a little bit off of the 2 car.
Snappy pit stop. There's Jeff Gordon's fiancée looking on. He met her in Victory Lane. I think he engaged in Victory Lane. At least he proposed in Victory Lane. So in that shakeout, Gordon takes first. Wallace hosts second. Modine is third. Dale Jarrett fourth. Ricky Rudd falls to 6th. He's just in front of Harry Gant. Jeff Gordon seeking his first Winston Cup victory. Set on the pole. It's been a long time since anyone has sat on the pole and won the 600. 1976, the great David Pearson. Jeff Gordon, Pittsburgh, Indiana.
Jeff's done stretched it from 2 seconds to 3.2 right now, so he's really just outrunning the 2 car. Getting it on out there, getting it done right now.
5 laps to go, and they come by this time. As Jeff Gordon, at 22 years of age, this sensational driver did so well here a year ago, had a brilliant run in this race, is coming back and doing the only thing he can do, and that's improve on 1 year ago when he placed second in the event. To go. Putting a lap on Harry Gant, 7th place competitor. Jeff Gordon at 21, the youngest driver to win a 125-mile qualifier at Daytona. And the first rookie to win one of those 125 since Johnny Rutherford in 1963. Here tonight at Charlotte, North Carolina. Make no mistake about it.
It's just winding down. Everybody's hanging on now, trying to keep what they've got.
Rusty Wallace stays in that second spot. Unless fate deals a different hand.
Yeah, it will, because Rusty's fading. He's getting beat like, 15 or 21 hundredths a lap right now. I think he's just sort of settled in.
Wallace staying second, Bodine in third. Around Earnhardt and away from him. 600 wins in 15 years of racing, and he's 22. 2 to go. 2 laps remaining. Youngest winners over the years, Donnie Thomas at 20. Talk about the greats. Fireball Roberts won his first race in when he was 21. It was 30 years ago that Fireball lost his life in this race this weekend. Bobby Hillen was 22.
Man, I had to be in there somewhere when I won my first one.
They don't remember back that far.
Okay.
White flag. 1 to go. Coming around the Daytona 500 winner, Sterling Marlin. Looking up, Jimmy Spencer just in front of him. Boy, this is a moment.
He's diving along.
Set on the pole at 181.439. He will become only the 5th driver in 35 years to win the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, North Carolina from the pole. Checkers are out, and they are down, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious this evening on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Now I called another one.
You're in good company.
No, they did the right thing. I wouldn't have took a chance on it, but they did.
Earnhart up to congratulate him.
He's shaking his fist at him. No, not really.
He'll reach you hard, but I'll tell you you did a good job, and Gordon did it splendidly.
I think everybody knew that he was going to win, just didn't know when.
Well, it's happened here. In this major race of the season, the Coca-Cola 600 belongs to Pittsboro, Indiana's Jeff Gordon with a sensational run in the 35th annual Coca-Cola 600. To the Purolator winner's circle, here's Randy Pemberton.
Well, Jeff Gordon is taking a few moments, gives his fiancee Brooke a hug. It was very emotional when he came in here. Jeff Gordon in absolute tears. He finally wins his first ever Winston Cup victory here in one of the biggest races of them all, the Coca-Cola 600. Let me walk in here and try and get a word with this young man. Jeff, a fantastic day for you. A great call on the pitch. You guys deserve to go to victory lane. Great job.
I'm speechless, man. I mean, this is the greatest day of my life. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful feeling, but I owe so much to this crew. I told everybody we weren't going to be fast at the beginning, and that we'd be there when it got dark and the lights came on. It's exactly what this thing did. You know, this car's named after my fiancee Brooke, and I love her very much. And this is just, I mean, unbelievable feeling. But you know, I got to thank Rick Hendrick, Chevrolet, DuPont especially. But this crew, I mean, they made that decision. I just drove the wheels off of it, but I didn't have to drive it too hard because they just did such an excellent job in the pits. And, man, that's what wins races, being smart, being there all day. We've been so unlucky lately. This is the only way to make it all worthwhile.
Well, they've said you've had the sophomore jinx all season. I know you wanted to put that behind you. You've done it tonight. You won one of the biggest races of all time.
We don't believe in jinx, you know. We just felt like things were happening that we had no control over, and we just kept working hard and working hard. Had team meetings to get our morale back up. Man, we're ready to win some more now. This is unbelievable.
Okay, get on out of there and celebrate with these people. Jeff Gordon, fantastic run for Jeff Gordon today and this entire DuPont team.
Watch this, Richard. I mean, this crowd is going to come unglued. People love this new youngster.
Yeah, they're looking for a hero there.
Yeah, they are looking for a hero.
You know, they ain't none. I don't care what them cats is doing and done and stuff. They ain't none. So they're looking for somebody.
Well, here he is.
It's $1 million win for him.
Is it?
You know, yeah.
This crowd just waiting for him to gather himself up after he's gathered this race up and step forth from this car number 24, with which he's flown victory.
There they go. Yeah, I think he's in a situation where nobody was pulling against him. They might be pulling for their favorite driver. I mean, like an Earnhardt fan, but they say, well, Earnhardt ain't going to win tonight. Let's jump on this kind of deal. And a lot of times that's what happens, and probably what happened a lot tonight.
122,000 people, plus what was in the infield, paying their respects to a 22-year-old youngster originally out of California who simply loves to race. Let's meet the man he beat tonight, the great Rusty Wallace.
Rusty, we're looking over your shoulder at him. What happened in those last laps that you couldn't close?
As did Jeff Gordon. We're told Gordon led only 13 laps, but the most important 13 at the end. Can't remember the last time we saw a driver win a major race and break out in tears and spontaneous joy in victory lane. A lot of hats off to young Jeff Gordon for his victory drive tonight. Now, a couple of awards to pass out here. The Liquid Wrench slickest move. We talked about other drivers perhaps qualifying. That slick move certainly goes to Jeff Gordon and Ray Evernham's crew, and that he leads for Gordon. The two-tire stop at the end really set it up. Now, we're also told that the UAW GM Teamwork Award of Excellence goes as well to Jeff Gordon's team. The Ray Evernham-led Rick Hendrick Motorsports entourage knocking that one off as well. We also want to tell you about the Advance Auto Parts Pits Done Quickly Award. We thought Ricky Rudd might have a chance. That 3-second stop he made late in the going for gas only. We thought that was a slick move too, but it gets Ricky and his team the Pits Done Quickly Award tonight here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, lots of activity here at the Speedway for the last couple of weeks. It's capped off by young Jeff Gordon winning his first Winston Cup race tonight in the Coca-Cola 600. More in a moment.
Stuff, but he never said in a stock car until 1990, and he pulls off this kind of a victory tonight. It really speaks for a great future.
Oh, it's great. You know what I mean? The big advantage he had over the majority of the people, he comes in with the very best equipment. But that doesn't take anything away from his ability, because he goes out there and proves that he's capable of handling the very best equipment. That's what he does.
All right, let's, as we take a look at the rundown tonight, talk to Dick Berggren for a moment.
Well, Ken, it wasn't just a first win for Jeff Gordon. It was also a first win for crew chief Ray Evernham. This whole team is young, and what a wonderful future they have ahead of them. Randy?
Well, certainly a great call in the pits. This is a team sport. They made a great call, but the driver in the end result has to do it. And Jeff Gordon is certainly one of the greatest drivers we have out there. May never be another Richard Petty, but we may have another Dale Earnhardt standing in victory lane there tonight. Kenny?
Well, guys, it's come down to, I guess you could say, a poker game. Rusty had to deal his hand first, and the rest of them seen it. Everybody's wrapping up behind her. It's been a long night, and I've had a really good time. See you later. Back up to you guys in the booth.
And good luck to you, Kenny. He's having his hands full in that Grand National race.
Yeah, he really is.
Richard Petty, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
We enjoyed it. Wish we'd have done better.
In his 42nd start, Jeff Gordon has won one of the biggest races the Winston Cup has to offer, the 35th annual Coca-Cola 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. For Randy Pemberton, Dick Berggren, Kenny Wallace, Rick Benjamin, Richard Petty, I'm Ken Squire. Good night, folks. Boy, this is a moment.
It's diving along.
Set on the pole at 181.439. He will become only the 5th driver in 35 years to win the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, North Carolina from the pole. Checkers are out, and they are down, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious this evening on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.